You know what it is, your boy DJ Infamous. Talk to me now. Smoke with me. It's me and my co-host, my partner, my brother.
Back on the block, no re-rock, Real Wolf of Weed Street. Back on y'all, man.
Billy D.
Billy D, back on y'all.
The reason why I call him Billy D is because it's like he has that voice, you know. Like I'm like a little high in it, and he comes with the smooth R&B.
It's a good balance.
Yeah.
He's got the radio
know
voice, though, so I don't know why he always say I got the Billy D.
I mean, because you come in
though.
like, yeah, it's the Wolf of Weed Street. And today's guest that we have the fabulous, the beautiful, the sexy, the talented Alexis Texas in the building.
Hey.
You sound better than me, shit.
I did, right?
That's good.
I get that. Alexis!
Hey.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
You doing all right?
I am doing great.
I'm loving your green outfit.
Thank you.
Did
it's like weed.
The lighter matches, too.
Was it because like the background and you wanted to match the whole decor?
Well, I mean, I wanted to wear this outfit one time, so I thought it was great. You know, the aesthetics. I like to aesthetically please.
Got you.
So I did a good job.
Got you. So I'm glad you know I'm happy you're on our show. This is you're our first adult porn star that we've ever interviewed.
Popping cherries. I like it.
Yes,
I like to be the
you
first.
definitely
I like
pop.
to be the
This is the first.
pioneer.
And you might not know this. This is our first time we've ever had somebody from the Hall of Fame on our show.
Ooh.
Facts.
Hey.
She's in the Hall of
Facts.
Fame.
In
might
the
not
Hall
have known
of Fame.
Our first Hall of Famer on the show.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about that? Like you're in the Hall of Fame. Like that's dope.
I feel like for me, it's sometimes it's challenging for me to accept it as far as like, cause I'm like, I'm just me. I have a
Right.
big booty, I shake my ass and I have fun. But for me, I appreciate the accolades that I've gotten and the awards that I've gotten from it.
Right.
It's a humbling feeling that the work that I've done, it matters.
Right.
People helping people one orgasm at a time.
Right. And when you say awards, like can you just give a run through of the awards that you received?
I won a lot of Best Ass awards. I've won some scene awards. My movies that I directed have won some awards. I've been Performer of the Year. I don't really know the whole list.
Do you have a trophy room like a?
You know, it's funny. I just moved out of my office downtown, which I call Twerk Towers, and I had several
Twerk Towers?
Twerk Towers. That's where the twerking resides.
Shout the Twerk Towers.
A lot of twerking. I went down there for almost 10 years. But so I had to take them and move them to my home now. That I was like, what do I do with all these? So I have to find a real home for them. But right now they're in my closet, showcased beautifully.
Nice. Before we go any further, Alexis, let's take a smoke break. Usually on our show, before we get into any in-depth conversations, we take a smoke break. And nephew, are we? Throw it.
Winter Circle Wonder Boy on the roll up.
Listen, shout the Wonder Boy. He's one of the
Like,
best
is this
rollers.
fat and I can't do it, or is this not working right?
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, God.
Alexis Texas is smoking, ladies and gentlemen.
I promise it's not my first time. It may look like it.
I need a lighter. Oh, she got it. Nephew, B. Somebody
So tell
told
us about, this is a Cannabis podcast. When was the first time you started smoking?
The first time I actually didn't smoke it, I was hotboxing a car when I was like 19 years old in college. And being from Texas, we don't have a lot of great weed. At that time, it was.
Hold on, you didn't start till 19?
I started at 21.
Got you.
But the first time rewind. Think about
Other way
things.
around.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I was 19 when I started smoking.
Right.
Yes, I was thinking 21 when I started porn. That's why I was thinking that way. But no, 19. I hotboxed a car when I was college, or my girlfriends were smoking. I ended up joining a bikini contest. I won. It was very it was body euphoria. And then I think I hit a bong rip after that. Horrible experience. Didn't go back. And then I didn't start smoking again until I moved to California, where there was actually great options for weed and different ways to smoke it. Like I didn't know, none of my friends were really doing that. They were more on hookah and drinking alcohol than there was weed. Texas isn't really a great place for weed at that time. It's dry and the climate, where they're growing it is just different.
Someone that keeps it real on the show. You know, a lot of people will always say that their city or state's cannabis is the best, but it's not. And
we're good at a lot of things, mainly because everything's bigger in Texas, but not weed.
Right.
Not weed.
Everything's bigger in Texas, but not weed.
No.
So let me ask you: are you high when you do your when you do porn? Are you sober or what's the?
I haven't shot any news scenes in a long time, other than with myself. But I naturally am high because I smoke all day. I smoke when I wake up, different types of weed, and where my mind is. I feel like I use it because I have anxiety, so I feel like it makes me feel level, it makes me feel normal. So, so I feel like I'm somewhat always high. I feel like before when I'm taking pictures, I don't smoke until, so I don't look high. And then when I'm fucking myself, I'm high.
Got you. Because
What would you like to smoke?
Different times of day. Like sativa, I do during the day, and then OG at night.
So you do follow that. You know, I used to do the same thing, but after rocking with him and nephew, and just over time, it's like I got kind of jaded with it. Like if I smoke a sativa at night, I'm gonna feel the same as.
For me, well, it depends on like everybody's weed is better kind of thing. But I think like now because there's so many different strands and ailments and things that it does for you, that I feel like you base it off of that. So it's like just good weed. Because me too, like now, especially even being with Hardin, it's like you learn all the different things of what it does for you. And you're like, oh, well, let me try this because I didn't know that. But if it was sativa indica, as long as it does what it's supposed to do, if it's the head high, body good, it's good for me.
Right. So you said you mentioned you started porn at 21.
I did.
What made you want to get into it?
I don't think it was something I aspired. It was something that kind of just fell into my lap. I was always a sexual person, and at the time, reality porn was really new, and a company called Shane's World was doing a line called College Amateur Tour. I was in college in Texas, and I got approached by people. I didn't know that it was a porn company. I thought I had been approached before by this company, the Eliminate. And so me, naturally, I was like, if you want to talk to me, come and buy a drink from my bar, then we'll talk. And then we were speaking. And they're like, hey, we're just going to be honest. We're here to do the scenes. Would you want to do a scene? And I'm like, fuck no. Like, not knowing, I never watched porn. I wasn't into porn like that. And then they were like, well, contact me later tonight when you're done working and we'll meet up. Right. Well, they didn't hit me up. So I felt rejected. I was like, wait, I thought they wanted me to be in this scene and they didn't even call me back. And so I texted. And then it became a whole thing where we didn't think you wanted to. So they drove back immediately. They were on their way to Houston. They drove back, kept me on the phone because they wanted me to make sure that I wasn't gonna not do it.
Right.
And then they picked me up, and so Texas and I, we went and drove down somebody's dirt path road and fucked under a tree with a blanket from a flea market.
Okay, hold on, stop. Okay.
There's a lot to unpack there, but that's how it all began.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay, so what's the feeling like? Okay, I've never done porn. I never really watched porn, and I'm about to go do a scene. What's this feeling like?
Well, I didn't know what a scene was. For me, it's like I would have fucked this guy at the club.
Right.
Why is he not giving me attention? I'm 21 years old.
Right.
And so then it's like fucking. I mean, we all know how to fuck.
Right. But the camera's on though.
Well, that part I feel like, so I never fucked in front of anybody. So that part was weird for me because it's like you don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure I was like covering my tits the whole time, like looking at people. I was definitely looking because I thought the guy who owned the property was going to come with the shotgun and shoot us.
Right.
It's not unbeknownst to Texas.
What are you doing on my property?
For sure. It's one of those things that's like 2 miles down, and I'm like, if you see a dirt road dust, we need to leave.
Right.
Sure, it's not a good idea. But yeah, so it was really kind of awkward. But like I said, I've always been a sexual person, and not that I fucked a lot. I just liked I liked fucking, and like I minored in sociology, so I like the way things are of like what turns me on. What's like if it's men touching myself, learning things about my body, then that's kind of where I navigated that. So people weren't surprised, but it felt good.
Right.
And then I was like, I would have done it anyways. And in college, I didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, hey, this is like a whole month's salary. Why not?
Why not?
And at that time, because reality porn wasn't a big thing, there was so much porn. They were like, no one's gonna know if you do one scene. It's like finding a needle in a haystack is exactly their words. And I was like, yeah, I bet.
Right.
Went back to school. Or no, I went to school. I kept in contact with the guy, and he hit me up and was like, a company called Bang Bros wants to shoot you.
Bang Bros.
And that time was the first time reality porn was, again, an internet porn big. And so I went out there a week later. The scene got produced on Monday. Everyone in my college knew on Monday. And then I left to LA the week later and moved. And then
it was on and popping.
And I was like, go big or go home. And Miss Texas doesn't go home. So I've been there ever since.
There we go. That's dope because not everybody thinks about that at 21. Not everybody has like a, you feel what I'm saying? Like a 21 years old.
For me, it was like being in Texas is like, I love Texas and where I'm from. It gave me a lot of like, I feel like why I'm still really humble is because being in a small community and seeing like what all those things, but also people are very closed-minded and I always didn't fit in there. My parents are from New York and like I always knew it was different. So my mindset of how I viewed sex or my body, or I used to show my guy friends like how to take a bra off and like just because I wanted to see what their dicks look like because I didn't know what it was. So I'd like trade things. So
right.
It was just exploring. And so for me, it's like, I think it was cool for me to really find myself and kind of navigate my womanhood of what I like sexually, what turned me on and what kind of things. And I've kind of navigated navigated through that in my porn career.
So besides just acting, you've also directed your own movie as well, too, right?
I have directed a couple scenes. Before I stopped shooting, I was contracted with the Elegant Angel. I was a contract star and I also directed movies for them.
Personal question.
Yes.
What age did you lose your virginity?
I was 16.
16.
16, yeah.
What? Let me. Okay, before the porn, because I just want to see, going into the porn business, like where you're at personally. Like, I know I said I wasn't gonna ask nothing personal, but
No, go ahead.
just stuff like this. Like,
We conversating.
are you before you got into porn, were you already a very sexual person?
Yes. Like, again, I like to, how do I say this? I always made the expression, it was like, once you pop, you just can't stop. Like, once you fuck, you like want to tense that feeling. Like, it's just like with weed, why we keep smoking. It's like, it's addiction,
Right.
And I don't feel like I have a sex addiction, but I also knew what I liked. I knew what I enjoyed. But I was navigating, like I was saying, like what I didn't know a lot of things either. I just knew like plain, like vanilla porn, that, and then it was like girls were introduced. I didn't know if I ever liked girls in Texas. Like, I was drunk, we'd make out with girls, but the next day they're like, I didn't do that. So you couldn't explore it without it being looked as bad. So me knowing when I did that scene and how it blew up really quickly, I was like, I always didn't feel like I belonged. I feel like I need to be with people who are like-minded people that I can create and enjoy my craft and not feel bad for it, because I don't feel bad because it's just who I am.
Right.
But yes.
It's dope. You know, when I really looked at porn, like just seeing the business side of things, like outside of just, knowing it's there, was like movies. Like one of my favorite movies is Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
That's my shit. Because the thing
And
is,
that was the first kind of movie that opened up to show kind of what it's like.
yeah, like, because for us, we're just, we just go to the site, we see the sex, fucking everything. But do we really know what the business side of, you know what I'm saying? Like the business, how lucrative it is. And, I was watching Dirk Diggler go from nothing, and next thing you know, he's one of the top, in the movie, you know what I'm saying? And he's making a lot of money. And it's, a lot of people don't know that business side. I just had a porn, it was a porn company that just booked me, I think New Year's, to do a show. Cool dude, met his family and everything, but that the house was big as shit.
Yeah.
But that business, I never looked at it, the business side, till I saw that movie. Like, oh, this is a different shit, right?
For sure. I mean, I think that's relative into everything. People are like the music and how
Yeah.
that moves. We just assume how things, but it's really, it could be very shady. It could be very like who makes the right money and who's making the money.
Right.
And I think like that's also why too, with movies like that, opened up the eyes of people of just knowing that it is a business.
Yeah.
It is a $1 billion business that nobody watches, but I have 6 million followers.
6 million. Shouts to that.
Hey, white girl politicking.
So I know your DMs is crazy.
I don't really check them like
How
that.
can you not?
Because I do so many different things, and I use social media like it's not my personal social media. Alexis Texas isn't who I am. Like,
Right.
So yes, that's where all the real spicy
Right.
DMs are going to be. But I use it for promotion things. What I'm doing, I leave the lifestyle type thing for
Yeah.
my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So I'm a busy lady.
You don't peek over there every now and
I mean,
then?
I do. I will say, I think I
It's-
forget who.
everybody peeks.
I
Everybody-
definitely
Well, let me just
peeked,
look.
but it's like one of the, and it's funny because the guy I had it on my show. He was like, I've looked at. He's like, I'm gonna get a follow back, and he's like, you're gonna see I've DM'd you a couple of times, and like, and so you see the messages from 2015 or whatever it is. I haven't had that happen, but it's also because of 6 million followers. It's
Right.
hard to get lost
through
of
it,
like
yeah.
what it is. But the
Yeah.
new thing is like how you could put verified or whatever. So I have peeked on that.
Got you.
So tell us about your podcast.
My podcast, it's something I've been doing. I just finished season 3. We're on season 4 now.
Nice.
I've done 120 episodes. I love it. It's something that I feel like is just very natural. I love
You're yourself.
talking, and
Yeah.
for me, it's like a private conversation. We don't know each other, but we get to know each other at the end,
Right.
and it's cool. It's for me. I feel like people don't know my voice. They've just seen my doggy style, whatever I like sexually. So for me, it's given me a platform to really let people know my vulnerability, what I'm going on in my life, and things like that, and also getting to know my peers and other people and the opportunities that it's brought.
Right.
Who was one of your favorite guests that you've had? Like somebody you had that just was like a crazy show that you're like, I didn't know it was gonna turn out like this.
One of my favorite, I always say, and it wasn't crazy, but it was like kind of cool because I had known him before, but didn't interview style thing. But he's such a big name. Was Carl Kanai. He was one of the very first episodes. And he was such a great, like you could see why he's so good at what he's done and has been so still current, is that it was just the creative and how his story was. And it was really cool to get to know that narrative. I've had King Los. We had a really great conversation spiritually, and like, you know, where it takes you when you meet people is kind of really cool because you don't know people. You see what we give our personas. I had Neo sing to me, Independent Woman, which was really cool. Well,
That's dope.
so yeah, I've had some good ones.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely
I got another porn question.
Let's hear it.
I mean, I'm interested. I mean,
Yeah, I'm the first one. I'm popping
Yeah,
the
I'm
cherry.
sa-
So
saying
you gotta
you
learn for
popping the cherry,
an expert, and I'm a Hall of Famer.
And then as I get high,
The
you
Hall
know.
of Famer.
So listen, I'm gonna tell you, as I get high, if I ask you something and you're like, why he asked me that? I'm just
Okay.
you're all right. Okay.
I feel like I should start giving disclaimers when I do that, right?
You definitely should.
So
Give it to the camera. We need a disclaimer now.
listen,
Run
I'm
this
giving
back.
a disclaimer. As I get high, as we're doing this interview, if I ask anything weird or because it's the high.
Yeah.
Because I got high.
Yeah. Shout out to Afro
Done it
Man.
on a few episodes.
Yeah, I've done it with majority of them.
Yeah.
Majority of them. So then what was I gonna ask you? Okay, so
You had a porn question.
yeah, porn question. So favorite position?
Cowgirl.
Riding. That's riding, right?
Yeah, because I'm in control.
Because you're in control. Now, has that always been your favorite position, or that kind of something that over time you was like, you know what? Let me start putting it out there that this is my
I
favorite
mean,
position.
I like
how's it-
other ones.
Right.
That's not my only go-to thing. But I
Right.
mean, missionary. But I feel like that's more intimate. It depends on what's going on. Like
Right.
porn-wise, I feel like it's very.
No missionary.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I need
For
a
a
break
couple
on
minutes.
my back for a while, you know, when you're really doing work. So
Yeah.
it's like you need a break too, but you still got to do the show. So it's like, what do you do? So it's a different thing, but that's my favorite, like either finisher or I like to be in control in those things. But
Got you.
yeah.
You ever had a moment where the dude's breath just smelled like shit and you're like, cut?
Not really,
I mean,
but I've had someone that like
That's a real
had like
question.
cotton mouth or whatever. But I feel like for me, I haven't really had that problem.
So
but
do
people do.
you guys put in like a mint before you go, or just
I mean, I can't speak for everybody what they do, but a lot of people do. Like girls go and they douche their vagina before they go work because they
Right.
want to be clean, and it's like
Right.
a protocol of being like a freshing thing. So men, most of them, that if they're polite and actually active workers, a lot they go brush their teeth and make sure their fucking dick's
Alexis
clean,
be like,
and make sure whatever.
you didn't brush your teeth today.
Or
Go
they
back.
go shoot their dick up in the bathroom or do whatever the fuck they're trying to do. But everybody's regiment's a little different.
Right.
Me, I
right.
smoked a blunt, I listened to Biggie, and I was like, drank a Red Bull and was ready to go.
Right. Man preference, race wise.
Race wise,
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I like everybody. I feel like it
Is that
depends
a
on the
political
person.
answer, or you just being
No,
All right.
it's what it is. For me, I feel like it's about the person. I'm an alpha female, so I feel like people are intimidated to speak to me. So I feel like if you're my person, then whoever you are is an alpha who can come up to me and allow me to be who I am, but
Mm-hmm.
still make me want to be your sub. I'm all for it. So I feel like race isn't really an issue.
Got you. So on camera, what do you have a preference, or as far as type of guy, like build, fat, skin, like just
Porn doesn't really work
Doesn't really
like
work.
that. I mean, I guess it could be, and porn's also changed. Like I said, I haven't shot in 6 years. So
Right.
the evolution of how things run, especially from OnlyFans type of things, is different. Back when I was shooting, it's like you have a yes list, you have a no list, and that based off the company when they try to book you for whatever they're booking you for, if it's a boy, girl, a girl, whatever, is all discussed prior to, and it's like an itemized things, and then they book you according to what your yes list is, who you're really working for. So you wouldn't really know until the day before. So it's not like you get to be like, hey, let me call this person and say you're gonna fuck me tomorrow. They're just kind of pre-planning it, unless it's your own production company, which I have done too, where you
Right.
pair people together.
right.
Yeah, I it's super cool. I don't know that you really like are really fuck with the plant like that. Like, you really smoke weed. Like sitting here
sure.
talking to you after the first couple minutes, like I can tell like, you're a weed head.
I'm a
like,
weed connoisseur.
Yeah, exactly. You're a weed
I mean it.
connoisseur. I
And
like that.
as you should be. Like I tell people, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I think
You
it's a
feel me?
stigma again, like I said. For me, like how we do things, like I have high anxiety. I'd rather smoke than take a pill. I would rather
Yeah.
manage it myself of how I want to do it. So for me, it's like someone smoking a cigarette. It's just healthier for you. It's a
Right.
plant. It's it gives you good things. And now with the progression of cannabis too, it's like there's so many health benefits as well. And nobody died from weed.
So
You
how do you
get
feel
too high, you
about
smoke.
the way cannabis is like moving into other states, and
Yeah.
where do you see yourself as a brand maybe entering the cannabis market and maybe doing something in these other legal states and stuff like that?
I definitely am in talks of doing my own stuff. I have been for a couple years now, and so like finalizing things, but I definitely fuck with cannabis heavy. So for me, it was only natural to do something that I like. I like to promote what I like. So I am in talks of doing my own deal, flower, edibles, and things in that nature.
Okay.
Dope.
Whole product lines.
Yeah.
Do you have like a you know how people have like what is it called when you like not a theme with your cannabis, but like the way your brand looks, like
Just like a direction design, or
yeah,
you have
like
a name
what's
or
your-
I've
anything?
gotten through
Yeah.
all of that stuff. We're still working on our site of stuff, but it should be by April. We should be launched already.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, you hear that? Smoke with Me podcast.
Most definitely.
Product
And
This
I'll
is-
have to
dropping
come
soon.
back and smoke
Yes.
my product with
Exactly.
you.
Yes,
We'll test
and
it out and tell me what it is.
Taste the edibles.
Yes.
Pause. No, it's not a pause. I'm talking to her. Yeah, we good. We good. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
Just making sure that wasn't a pause moment. But nah, we definitely and that's another thing on our platform too that we want to do. People that have products, and as far as in the cannabis business, always feel free to come and let's talk about it. Let's talk about what each product, what it does, the benefits, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's what we're here for. Another important question. I mean,
We needed bell for this. Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
like-
coming in.
no, we usually,
I like it.
at our studio, we usually have the little sound
Yeah,
pad.
we're
with,
bored. We got our
Like,
board.
like-
I mean, because like she said, she's our first one.
Yeah, it's
Like we've
all-
had rappers,
I'm
we
not
had
tripping, man.
people in cannabis,
We got
politicians.
financial people, politicians.
Yeah,
That's the
we've-
thing about the podcast too. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have breeders, we're gonna have growers,
Yeah.
cultivators,
Like, just-
dispensary owners,
Yep.
financial people. We're gonna have all different people, all different walks of life. So it's just a pleasure having you on and just
Appreciate it.
hearing your perspective on things.
Diverse conversations need to happen more. Education is key. How we
Facts.
all, want to deal with each other is just a conversation.
Right. Now, is it hard for you? Okay, is it hard for you to date being in this business?
Yes, it is. That's why I'm currently single. That's why I'm currently single.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
think
heard that
it's-
on the Smoke With Me podcast.
Hey, if my husband's out there, I'm right here. But I think that I think right now in time, it's hard to date anywhere, but I can't go on dating apps. I can't do any
Definitely
of those
can't do that.
things because it's like, that's not really my vibe anyways. I'm very old school. Like I like the organicness. I like to vibe someone about energy. I'm about that, so for me on an app, I just feel like there's too much information already where it's like, I'd like it to be authentic. Cause most people, it's like porn doesn't define me. It's a part of what I do, but it's not who I am.
Right.
So if you lead off with, which I feel is always I hate, but it's everyone does it, is what's your name and what do you do?
Right.
And it's like, why does that matter or define? That shouldn't be the second question people ask, but it's
Right.
because that's what we are programmed to do and ask, because people put it in classifications of what we do based off what you do, which isn't right. But here we
So
are.
you've been asked the second
Every
question.
time.
So okay, so
But I'm sure you do too, and not just me, but
All the
everywhere.
time.
Because on the airplanes, we were traveling a lot. That's how what people
The
want to get to
common
know
question,
is
yeah.
what's your name and what do you do?
Yeah, I'm either a basketball player because I'm tall, or I'm somebody in the music business because I may have chains, or depending on what I'm looking like.
Yeah.
I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like
You get the hooper,
sometimes I get the hooper, man. Like, the hooper is usually
like
from
a
older
retired
people.
hooper.
It's usually from older
A
people.
retired
Like, do you play basketball or whatever? Like,
Did you used
no.
to play basketball?
And then if I have my chains on, like, so you do that music? Are you rapping or you know what I'm saying? I get that almost every week. I'm in the airport. Somebody's asking me about something. Sometimes I'll be like, no, I'm in accounting. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's loaded after that. Where do you go? I'm like, what is this person really gonna go?
That's what I wanted to ask you. So the second question is, what do you do? And you say, oh, I'm a porn star. Like, do you just
Well,
go
see,
out and
that's
say it
why-
like that, or
that's
do you?
why it's loaded, because now I say I have a podcast, or sometimes I word it with I'm in the adult entertainment business, because for me, there's way more things to what I do than just the porn star. I mean, that is.
But have you
it's
ever
a
just
brand.
gave it that answer
I
just like
have.
that?
I
And what
have.
did they do? Did they be like,
They're
oh,
shocked.
really?
This
Or
is
did
why
they
I
be
have
like-
to preface what it is.
Really?
But before, when I first
Yeah.
started, I could get away with being a student and or a makeup artist, whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I really can't. And if more people know you, I'm like, yeah. But they're shocked. They don't know what to say, or the questions. For me, it's like, what time is it? First of all, did I sleep before I got on this flight? Do I want to hear this person ask me a million questions about porn in the industry? And how long is this flight? Because I don't really want to tell I'm a porn star until I've got 45 minutes
Right.
left until I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
So that is annoying. that if
It's
somebody
not
asks
annoying,
you, they
but
just
for
wanna,
me, it's like in the context. So if it's a man, so what if I don't want to talk about who I'm Alexis Texas with? Now I got to sit next to this person. I can't move, and you're talking to me about sex, or maybe you're a fan and you watched me and you fucked to me, and now I'm like, what is
Hella
the
weirded
what is the
out.
boundary?
Right,
Because for
right.
me, I'm okay with what I do, but I also can't control somebody else. I can control myself. So
Right.
it's like sometimes I just don't want to deal with it, or sometimes it's an old person that I don't really want to like get
Just-
into it. So
yeah.
it's like why I feel like is like, and again, maybe because the job is controversial in certain aspects, but it's like, why does that define a person, and why does that mean in the 5 seconds of meeting them? Of why do you need to know what they do? What if I was a trash man? What if I was a cleaning lady, a makeup artist,
Right.
an accountant, a doctor, a
You
fucking
did
chef?
eyebrows, you did whatever, yeah.
right.
Does that make me better because I have a big ass? Damn straight. That
Sexy ass
be-
trash
that ass
lady.
be
Ass
assing,
trash
okay?
lady.
That ass
And
be
that
assing.
trash lady got ass.
So that's why I pay the higher rate.
Right.
Charge the higher rate.
Okay, so what about the guy that doesn't even give a fuck? He's just like he respects that you do that, but it's like doesn't bring it up. He talks about other things. Is that like
I respect it. For me,
Yeah.
it's like I don't shy what I do. If I feel like you're an adult and like a mature person or
Yeah.
whatever, because
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? For me, it's like I'm not gonna tell some 23-year-old kid or like in those sense because you can just send. I'm a people person, so I
Right.
read. What do I want to like? Where do I want to go with this?
Right.
Like, and most times,
Y'all, he's coming out the jacket.
Oh yeah, because I'm getting high and
He's coming
comfortable.
out the
Yo, Alexis
jacket.
cool as a motherfucker. Yo.
He's coming out the jacket. Watch out, y'all.
Because real talk, like again, like everybody's watched porn, but I've never really. Well, I do got a couple homegirls in porn, but we never had conversations
Yeah.
like.
but the
this,
thing
you
is,
know
like
what
I
mean?
always say, like
Yes.
we put our pants on every single day, just like everybody else.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's like, why is it any different from what you do, anybody in this room does? That because I fuck for a living doesn't define me.
Not at all.
It only makes me fucking a better bitch. Wait, no.
Wolf, you don't have a porn question?
Not yet. I'm gonna get one going. You've been coming with enough of them so far.
Yo, because you know what the thing is, I'll be curious, Joe, because again, just like with the cannabis business, before I'm just smoking it because we like it, right? And then you get introduced to a whole nother side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about all the stuff that you was educating me on.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So then it makes you get more interested, right?
Yeah. Nah,
And then after that, you find out different stuff that cannabis does for you on a positive level, and then it's no more just recreation at that point. Now it's like I know information. Oh, now I want to get into business. Now I want to.
I know that porn stars have
You see
always
me?
been successful. You know what I mean? Like they make a lot of money. So
But that's also perspective, right? Because as much as I don't know what music people and DJs, I don't know anybody what like the salary, what that means. But until OnlyFans platforms came around, did the narrative change where now we're finally making the money that we should be? Now we're making good money, but the companies that were all really big companies were making more money off of us because you don't know any better because you don't have any place to market yourself with unless you had a website, which wasn't really that big in the beginning, and so you have to know how to do that.
Right.
But
technology.
now it's like
Technology.
it's a content creator, and like even with OnlyFans, it's not only just sex. We made that platform, as popular as it was, and then became other things. But now we can see there's no middleman.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
I'm the creator. I own my product, and ownership obviously
It's socking it
with
straight
the
to your
years
pocket
That's
now.
dope. Yeah.
is it matters. Before we didn't think that it matters, but we were independent contractors. We weren't the owner.
Before you needed a company like Vivid and all that, where now you can just
And you still need those companies, I believe. But it's like it's a vehicle. Like you need the marketing, you need the promotions, whatever. And if you want your whole thing to keep going in a good circle and keep your people, like new people, like I have fans that are mine because I also haven't shot in 6 years. I don't work with other companies, so there's people that are a new type of porn fan that don't know me maybe, or because I don't do current stuff. So it's
Right.
like with the Brazzers and the Vixens and all these other people, when they have all these newer people and they're pushing traffic, then you're going to see all of your numbers and newer joins or things like that because they're seeing you more.
Right. So what's the reason of not shooting in 6 years?
I think it's just evolution of like where I was in my life. For me, it's like there's always progression. You shouldn't be doing the same thing in business every single year. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to do this as a person.
Right.
I started doing my podcast like 4 years ago, and I really liked. Thank you. Enjoyed it. And I never say never, but it's just in a different place.
Got you. Evolution is everything.
For sure. For me, it's more about branding, more about the other side now. I do shoot for my OnlyFans, but I only do stuff with myself.
Right.
So it's
that
like,
OnlyFans, like, so you know what was crazy to me was that young girl, yeah, what's her name? Barbie. Bad Barbie, yeah, from the Jerry, not Jerry Springer, it was the Maury show.
She made how much?
Dr. Phil, the Dr. Phil show.
She
Did like 60 million on OnlyFans.
Damn.
Catch Me Outside, girl. That's when
60
I was
million?
like. That's when I was like. This OnlyFans shit is different.
What?
I mean, I could say a lot of things. I don't know all facts, but I do know because I am someone who's on the platform. I don't know if that's accurate numbers, but she made it something close probably because, again, she's someone that's never done something before. She has a big following of just whatever she's doing. She just turned legal at that time. There was a lot of like a buzz. This whole generation is very clickbaity. But it's grabbing the attention at the right time. You know, I don't fault her. She's smart. She's going to homes. She's buying all this stuff, and she's being smart with it. All off of her being a badass little kid on this thing, and her mom, you know, putting her in what was that, like boot camp or whatever the show was, kind of thing. But she learned a way to capitalize on her brand, and that's what it is. Anybody can be an individual brand, and platforms like that bring it to the light of why not? If it's there to grab, why not grab it?
Right. Right.
Nah, we ain't shouting them out.
But it's true.
Yeah,
I mean, people. But look, even the thing like Charlie Sheen's daughter did the same thing.
Yeah.
Denise Richards did the thing again. It's like all these people are doing like it's because there's the same type of pictures on Instagram that is making this censorship happen. Is why they're going to subscription because it's the same thing. They were just giving away for free before.
Right.
And there's a
Facts.
market. Why not capitalize?
Capitalize on it and get it.
I'm about
And
my
it's-
business.
it's-
I'm about my business.
Now you want
As
it.
you should be.
Heck
As you
yeah.
should be.
Most
As you should
definitely.
be. So what other streams of revenue? What other things you have going on? I know you do. You also wrote a book too, right?
I have not wrote a book, but it is on my list of things to do.
Okay.
But I just had a clothing line I'm doing called Blonde Panda. My website's launching at the end of next week. So I've done releases, but we're actually putting on the site right now. It's through a company called Looptify that I'm working with. So
Shout the website out. So
it's
Yeah.
blondepanda.com, BLONDPANDA.
Blonde Panda.
Yes, so it's cool. It's for me. It's more the lifestyle brand for me. It's stuff that I wear on the daily myself.
Right.
It's unisex and everybody could wear it. I got some cool smoking tees on there too. Gotta represent the smoking.
Exactly. See, that's what I like that. You always make sure you represent the weed culture.
Alexis, smoke break.
Hey,
Everybody, let's hit the joint. That's my joint, please.
He changed it.
Yo, this is not mine.
Yeah, that's
Yo, this is Alexis Texas, man. Ain't nobody rushing this. You feel me? As long as I get from airport straight to the club, tear it down, we good.
you're working tonight.
Yeah, I got to go to another city. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
That's what I'm saying, Alexis. Like I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You know, I my time was limited in the beginning. Then I, hit my friend over here and say, man, push the flight back.
I
Alexis
appreciate it.
Texas is the shit.
She's a
This
vibe,
is
man.
this
is
a
Good
vibe.
vibes, man. It's good vibes,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Definitely
Appreciate it.
learning a lot about you. I think that you are adding a lot of value to the cannabis community.
Most definitely.
You know what I
Appreciate
mean?
that.
I like how you represent the cannabis community for sure.
Yeah, and I again can't wait for your products to come out. You know what I'm saying? So we could definitely. Oh, let me hold on.
Light up.
I said smoke break and none of us are smoking. Hold on, okay.
We have one lighter.
Yeah, for real. I don't know where all these Hardin lighters at. Smoke break brought to you by Hardin, man.
Listen, smoke break brought to you by Hardin. Listen, let me tell everybody watching. When you come to Las Vegas, don't go to the hotel. Don't go gambling. Don't go nowhere yet. Come straight to Hardin. You see the sign. Come straight to Hardin. Ask for the infamous party pack. In the pack, you'll have edibles. You'll have a sip. You'll have some flour. What else, Bonix? What else is in there? All the good shit. You know what I'm saying? And the party pack is going to make you... If you have the party pack and a honey pack,
Ooh,
you'll have a great weekend.
wow.
not the honey pack.
Yeah.
Is that what you doing? Is that
You know what I'm
what you
saying?
doing?
I mean, you got to get the honey pack somewhere else, but...
Do you travel with honey packs? Is it like the
nah.
new condom? He's like put honey pack.
You know what, to be honest with you, I feel like with the honey pack, you you know, I don't feel like traveling with it would, you know.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, that's not even a thing that I think you need to do every time anyway. Because again, like we was talking
I
off
just
camera.
learned about honey packs at this city. I've never even knew what those was.
Las Vegas
It's a
Scoop over
great
here
name.
put me on a honey pack. I didn't even know what he was promoting it on his story,
He
and
just
I'm like,
told you the honey pack wings
I'm
recipe
like,
before we
dude,
got on.
I'm like, dude,
All I know is honey pack, but I'll be sponsoring your show after this.
yo, that honey pack getting popular, yo. It got so cracking on his stories that other people would go get this honey pack, like take a picture and tag him on it. Yeah, like
Movement.
it was going crazy. And everybody's like, yo, I got the honey pack. Yo, I got the honey pack. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I say that, you know, I tried the honey pack. You know what I'm saying? My wife asked me, like, you know, she was like, do you feel anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it's,
I feel like if you have to ask, does it really work?
I mean, I felt like the first time for me it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because she asked me, she was like, do you feel anything? I'm like,
Nothing different.
I feel regular. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? But this another time I used it, I felt like it did work. But then again, I was high and drunk. So
I think
it
some of those
could have
things
been a
that sometimes
combination
could
of
be
shit.
placebo too. It's like, I feel that way.
Huh?
It's like, is it really working, or we took it and we think it's gonna work because we said it. We're taking the honey pack.
But then again, it could work if your last performance wasn't as strong and
I
then
gotta
this one is
fucking go
stronger.
try it now because I've never heard of this thing. I'll be the research the person. I'm gonna research.
Yeah, it's male and female. Okay, so yeah,
Put her on it, bro.
Yeah, there is a male and a female for this honey pack. Yeah,
okay.
It's just not males because
Women, they got it for women
Yeah.
because not all women are attracted to the guy that
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't you be attracted to the person you're having sex with?
Well, I mean, attracted, but you know, like a sexual energy type thing. Sometimes the energy don't hit. Like
You
I might
shouldn't be
attracted-
fucking.
I might be attracted to you, but maybe the energy was off right in the moment, or maybe.
I'm not liking the honey pack. If you can't fuck me right because you need a honey pack, it might be the one you got it different. Like, wait a minute, hold up.
yeah, you're not supposed to know.
You don't take it.
You know what I'm
And it's
saying?
secret. You can't even tell someone you're
I
taking the honey
mean-
pack.
You start.
Like I told my wife because I wanted, you know, we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? We like before I tried it, we talked about it. So that's
Okay.
why, you know. But like if I'm single and I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
I'm about to because I want to make the first impression.
True, I get that.
what I'm saying?
I mean, I have taken things. I'm not the honey pack, but pills of certain things like that with a partner, and I've definitely had it. But I just never heard the honey pack. I gotta try it out for myself.
Yeah. Shout out to Las Vegas Scoop. He'll be on the episode coming soon.
Definitely.
Smoke break. Are you high yet?
I've always had.
Great answer.
We only got one ashtray.
Here you go. Pass that down to him. So let me ask you. Damn, I just had a question. Hold on, let me get this real quick. Yes, if you could smoke with anybody, who would it be? Celebrity wise,
Dead or alive?
dead or
Alive,
alive.
top 5, dead or alive.
Biggie.
Dope.
That would be my. I have to do 5. I'm like, oh wait, I'm too high for that. Okay.
Do three.
I've always wanted to smoke with Rick Ross too. I tried to go I think years ago. I was I don't know why, but it was like I tried to see that smoke with me thing. Then it just became not cool anymore because I didn't get to smoke. So, but I still would put on the list because I just like Rick Ross.
Right.
Who else? Rihanna.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know she smoked.
It's a
Oh,
nice
for sure.
list.
Yeah, Rihanna's like my girl crush of all time.
Celebrity crush.
Rihanna.
Male.
She was ready with that Rihanna, like,
Right.
boom.
On top of it.
He's like male. She's like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a celebrity crush.
So you never grew up like teenager? I had a crush on
Well,
this
of
guy.
course, I had the band, like boy bands. I was like in the whole.
Oh,
everything
they're old
from-
now, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
But there's
like,
nobody out there you like, yo, him?
He could get it anytime. David Beckham used to be like my celebrity crush, but he's I feel like old too now. But he's still attractive. But I don't know if I would say that would be like the one.
He up there.
I don't know. I gotta think about that. I don't know. This is why I'm single. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, hey man, there's nothing wrong with, God will send you who he wants you to have.
And I believe that. For me, I feel like it's a journey. I've learned a lot about myself. Everybody's learned different things about the pandemic. I've done a lot of personal work of knowing what I really want in a partner. I was
Right.
married. I'm divorced. Been 7 years. So it's
Oh,
like,
where you was married before?
I was.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's like for me, it's like I know what I want, and then you grow, and things change. And so for me, I feel like I needed to really find myself through all of that. And I feel like I'm definitely in a space that I know that I'm ready for somebody, and I know that I'm not worried he'll come.
So just not trying to get too deep. Like, do you think the past relationship or just the dating, has it been you or the guy? Like, what do you?
As far as what?
Like, just why it doesn't work? Why does it work?
Why it doesn't work?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it takes two for everything not to work. I feel like both people have to be kind of want to be making it want to work,
Right.
equally.
Yeah.
I feel like I in the past have picked wrong people because of not knowing how to or what I really wanted in somebody. So I feel like it's
Right.
partially my fault in that way, but they were also not great partners. So like, who's really default? Both of us.
In your profession, does that come up a lot, or is it just like a
As far as in what? do you mean?
make it like them making it an issue?
I feel like again, I haven't shot in so long that nobody that I've dated and kind of whatever, it's never been an issue because
right.
I'm not actively shooting and I can't
Gotcha.
take away what I've done because that's me.
It's in the
who I
past,
am.
right.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Everybody has a past. Most people's past is worse than mine, but I don't judge. It depends on. So for me, I don't tend to keep people who would put me in a space or a box that I don't want to belong in. As far as if you don't. Like what I do, then we're not really probably meant to be.
Nice, gotcha.
But again, also with that being said, if I like somebody and there was things they didn't like, that's something you could talk about. But it has to be fair. I'm not about a controlling thing. To me, it's like a partnership is things that you grow together and works for you, good. But if not, that's why we have boundaries, or you just move on and find someone that's compatible for you.
One more question. Just one more question as far as this topic, because I know we want to talk about some other things too. But again, you've popped our cherry. You're our first.
Cherry popping.
What was the term we used in the beginning?
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
First Hall of Famer on the show.
I gotta ask. I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What was my last question? Yes, I'm high now because nephew rode this big old bat joint. Crazy. Damn, I just lost it. Before I just did that
You
whole
were
spill.
so excited
I
about
was.
it too.
You was ready.
I was ready for it.
Cause you pointed your
Yes.
finger like, man, one more.
Hold on a second.
We were talking about dating. We were talking
Right.
about
Oh yeah, okay.
partnership.
Check this out. Okay, so because of your content, does that and the guy that knows, you're in the business, does that intimidate him? Like, are they intimidated by, like, they see your performance and then it's like, well, damn, I gotta make sure.
like if they're not adequate. enough
Yeah,
to
I gotta make
fulfill
sure I
what's
do it
going
right
on.
because she's, you know what I'm saying? Does that? You get what I'm
Has
saying?
it? I get what you're saying. I feel like at one point, because again, for me now, my life is different than I was 5 years ago,
Right.
where I was actively shooting, and so it's different now. I'm not fucking anybody, so
Right.
I have, it's not. I don't have that issue. But people that I have in my life that have fucked me more like who I am and
Yeah.
my sexual being, I guess, in a sense, that it's a win-win for them.
Right. Because I know I gotta fuck with somebody. Like,
But in the past, I will say, I've
Like-
had,
like,
I've
think
had
about it, you
certain
like-
partners.
you go from watching like, damn, I gotta outdo this motherfucker. because
But if you're good at what you do, why do you need to question what another man's doing? But you're just gonna do right in your own thing. Be confident in your dick game. You can't be like, I'm not gonna be like, if I'm Alexis Texas, I'm always gonna lay it down. It don't matter if I have an off day. My off day is better than somebody's good day.
Right.
So, but you gotta
But
be
you can
confident
say
in your
that.
craft.
but for a guy that's watching, and then later on in life runs into you, and it's like,
That's his problem. He better get it together. He's not gonna get fucked. You know what I mean?
that's what I'm saying.
right.
Like, he's
She
like,
right.
yeah,
But
man.
you gotta come
right.
to the
You better
table.
lay it down.
But that's
You know-
why I said for me,
better
it's like
lay
the
it
You ain't gonna say
down.
this, homie. He gonna be like, yo, I just got
Better
with
lay it
Alexis
down.
Texas. I gotta. Steve, get the honey pack.
Get the honey.
I cannot fuck this up.
Come on, bro.
I cannot fuck
Come
this
on
up.
with the honey, man.
no performance anxiety.
Because then he gonna go, he be like, man, I did not shine.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because I
That's
mean,
a funny question. You funny as hell, bro.
now because you got to think about when you first want to highlight a batch, you like, man, I gotta smash that, right? So when it's like you getting into trying to get with somebody that's in the business and you've seen it.
Okay, but let me ask you this and that. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but it's like, why would you approach Alexis Texas knowing that I'm Alexis Texas if you're not gonna like come to bat or want to fuck with me? Because at the end of the day, are you trying to fuck Alexis Texas or me? I'm not doing a porn scene with you.
Right.
I'm not always Alexis Texas. That
Right.
everybody can't. You know what I mean? I'm good at whatever I want to be good at. But
Right.
why? For me, it's like, don't put yourself in a caliber that you don't belong in. If you can't be okay with me fucking the next day at work. Because
Right.
that's not fair to anybody. You're not being honest. You're just trying to be a trophy.
No, I didn't mean it like they're trying to holler at you for that. But I'm saying is like, you know, if they're trying to get with you for you.
Yeah.
But then of course eventually.
But that's not always. I'm saying with dating and why that's difficult,
Right.
is why that doesn't correlate is because I am Alexis Texas, but
Right.
people have to get to know Alexis. But off the bat, they only know Alexis Texas.
Right.
So, but really, that's cool for a little bit. But now what happens when you fall in love with Alexis Texas? I'm still Alexis Texas.
Right.
I still got to go to work. You're not paying my bills. And then what I do is being Alexis Texas. That's what you meant day one. Some
Right.
people put themselves in that category and then like, oh, I got a problem with it now.
Okay.
Well, what happened when you fucked me that time? That's what I'm saying. Most
Got
people
you.
put themselves in the wrong like lane.
Yeah.
Or don't put yourself there just because you want someone to be a trophy that you fucked Alexis Texas.
Right.
Because you're calling all your homies afterwards when... What is that for me? Nothing.
Right, nothing.
I
Right,
fuck for a
right.
living. I can fuck all day. I want to fuck someone with substance, not because I'm just a trophy.
Nice. We need a like something to go after.
Ding
that.
song,
Yeah,
ding, 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 ding,
Sparklers.
Yeah. She
Wisdom
killed
from
that.
Miss Texas. You know, I got a lot of gems.
Was getting into podcasting different for you? Because talking to you, like when I'm asking you
seems
these
easy,
questions,
though. Yeah, like, look
it's
at-
like
she-
the way
yeah.
you're, you know what I'm saying? Your delivery and the way you're answering questions and talking is like, you know. Did you have any
It's an
background before
organic flow
podcast
for
or
it. It's
anything?
an
or
organic
just-
flow
No,
for it.
Just-
for me, I just kind of like I hosted this tour contest, and it was something I made up. I invented whatever. So
Tell
it's
us about the tour contest.
Yeah.
The tour contest is Exoticas. We do them like 3 or 4 times a year. They're in Chicago, Jersey, Miami. And so I would host them on stage and I would get audience people to participate. They would twerk and I would like basically judge them. But I created the show based off of ad-libbing. It's like if I was, you know, a comedian making up a show, I didn't have nothing. So when I realized that it was really easy and I love the adrenaline of that and putting on a show, I would say like, I'm a singer, but I can't sing. Like I'm a performer.
Right.
But so that was like my performance.
Okay.
I'm a people person. I have a way for people to feel comfortable and just being honest. And then people tell you like if your vulnerability shows. So that happened and I was really good at it. And then I kind of just fell into podcasting, not knowing what it was going to be. And I love it. For me, again, it went back to no one ever heard my voice. I'm not very vocal sometimes on social media other than to promote what I have. Because sometimes in the beginning, social media wasn't as big as it is now, but people, why do they care? It's always like, oh, but let me see your doggy style. Let me see this. Now this is a place where it's different. It's more mainstream and it's talking about real life stuff. And we still talk about sex things and that's fine. It's conversational, but there's more to a person. And when the more you hear them speak, the more you meet with people and you just have an organic conversation, you learn more about people, the fans learn more about you. And then now I'm human.
Right.
Before I was just like the porn star where it's
Right.
I'm, you know, an entrepreneur. I'm a businesswoman.
Boss.
A lot of things.
CEO.
Goat.
So the twerk contest. So where did you learn to twerk at? Back home in Texas?
I think twerking just always came natural. I feel like I don't think you learn it. I think you just got it. It just does it. It has a mind of its own. She claps, she makes noise, a lot of things.
And what part of Texas again?
The San Antonio area.
San Antonio. Yo, shout out to San Antonio, yo. San Antonio party.
I don't know if y'all caught that.
Was that what she said?
He claps and makes noise. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Lots of people.
I'm high. I ain't catch it. I did not catch it.
Yeah.
Chris White, Cannabis Talk. Gotta call you back, Chris. Alexis Texas. So growing up, like what kind of music was you listening to? Coming from Texas though.
Hip-hop.
Screwed and all that stuff, or just
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Chopped and Screwed.
Yeah.
I liked my music that makes my booty twerk.
period. Yin Yang Twins.
Oh, those were great.
Yo, man, listen. Yin Yang
Brings me
Twins
back, like, you know, I'm in junior high.
had a
I'm like-
run. But you know what? They got records where they could tour forever.
Yeah.
Like Salt Shaker Whistle While You Twerk, all that. Like,
Those was definitely twerk songs.
yes. And then, like, yo,
Definitely danced multiple times.
I remember them songs, like, as a DJ, like, them songs dropping, and it changes, like, the whole tempo of the club. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah, that's why I like females coming out now, because I feel like as a DJ, we need more, like so much street shit. You know what I'm saying? We need more records to make the women move, twerk. You know what I'm saying?
Bringing it back.
Like when I'm DJing last,
2000s.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, bringing that vibe back. Like like the whole standing on the couches and just mean mugging everybody and just shit is like,
It ain't it.
nah, we need more records to.
Glorilla got him back dancing.
Yeah, most definitely. She does. It's a couple of them out there. That's why I'm loving the females that's coming out. I love seeing women go crazy in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? You like clubs?
Women makes the world go around. I like clubs in these kind of environments. I'm not a club person all the time. I feel like I've done it a lot for work and I do it for those times, but I'm not really a going out person.
No. So if you do go to a club, what's a club that you like? If I'm gonna go out anywhere in the world, this is the club I'm going to.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
I don't even know.
Oh, you never had like a moment like.
I mean, for me, it's always about the people I'm with. Like I always have fun. I feel like you make the vibe, whatever. But I mean, I like going out more in New York than I like anything. LA is kind of boring. The clubs are just different.
Yeah.
I'm not a big.
You like New York clubs? Not knocking New York clubs, but.
It's just more fun for me. But LA's kind of boring, and Miami's like. I feel like it's 2 days in one. It's like a whole thing. It's a lot. But I mean, I've done it. I'm 37. So for me, it's like I've kind of done that in my 20s.
Right.
And not that I wouldn't go. Like I said, events like this, whatever. I've been out every night, way past my bedtime. But
we need to take her. We need to take her to the strip club in Atlanta.
How often do you go to Atlanta?
I'm on which one? I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time, but I've done store signings there. I used to dance there. Did a music video there, but it's been a while since I've been to Atlanta. Love the food. It's amazing.
Strip clubs are amazing, right?
Honestly, that's where I was like, I could do this. I'm like these big booties, like because they were so great and they're like the nicest girls. Like everyone's cool so like because it's a southern and that's what gravitated to me. I'm like, you can take the girl to Texas, but you can't take the Texas out of the girl. Like
right.
The girls in Atlanta were very like, they're like, girl,
they cool.
You could do this. You just move. I'm like, I love this. And it's a performance. Like I liked that.
Yeah.
So, but it was awesome. Seen some crazy shit. I think it was Blue Zebra or something like that. They had the security with the sawed-off shotgun. I mean, like everybody's gotta go. I was like, we gotta go.
Listen, I love the strip club culture in Atlanta. Like when I started DJing at strip club, I forgot it was like 09, and it's like me and the dancers was hustling together. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like it. I didn't like in the beginning. I looked at it like, damn, I'm DJing the ass and titties for 5-6 hours. Like this is great. You know what I'm saying? But then it turned from that to like starting talking to them, and like a lot of them had like real shit going on, like paying myself through school, doing this, doing that, like positive shit, like dope ass shit. And then once you started like being around them, we started hustling together in the clubs, like.
Makes it easy.
They come in, yo.
You got to play the right songs to make a motherfucker turn up.
Right, and they telling you like, yo, as soon as he come in, play that record, these cakes is all over him. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be a thing. Like, yo, shout out to Atlanta strip club culture.
That's why for me, I feel like if anything, I'd prefer to be at a strip club because I like the club dancing aspect. But I don't necessarily go for the girls. I go for the experience.
Yeah. The whole it's a thing.
And most times now it's like clubs or strip clubs are more like the kind of like nightclub and girls in one.
Mixed together, you're right.
You know, in Atlanta, I've been like that. Like
sections and all.
Yeah, like I've been on dates. Like when I first got to Atlanta, I've been on dates to the strip club. Like that's the date. We eating, got cakes in front of you.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
You set the tone.
Your wings are here.
You can't be when y'all
buns are here. The weeds here. The money's here, and it's just like you just
honey pot on the side.
Can I get to these jams? I'm high now, Alexis. Yeah. Smoke break. Alexis, you're done? You're tapping out? You're done?
Oh, I thought I was going to be later.
Oh, well, no, you're our guest.
Oh, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alexis Texas has tapped out on the Smoke With Me podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I can tap
yes.
out. I have no shame.
Huh?
I'm like, I have
no,
no
it's
shame.
good. No, it's all good. I'm just glad you got high with us.
Oh, I loved it.
Again, you're our first Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer.
Hey.
Hall of Fame. Now, what's the correct term? Adult porn star, or is it what's the correct? Am I saying this wrong? Like,
I don't get offended by any of those things.
No, I'm asking like what's.
I don't really know the right term. I'm adult. I don't know. Now I'm on the spot because I'm high. So I'm like, what do I call myself? Fuck. I'm like Alexis Texas. This is like, damn.
Just call me Alexis Texas, motherfucker.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Get back to me.
I mean, I just didn't want to. If I'm saying, I didn't. Again,
I guess it's tricky because it's like I don't know, I'm not a porn star anymore. I'm not shooting, but I am known as a
right?
porn
I keep
star.
thinking,
So
my
what
bad. I
do you
keep
really
thinking that you're
call,
currently.
like, I don't know. I
Do
mean,
you-
I've never like said that I'm retired. I just don't do. I haven't done scenes because I
Right.
just don't. Maybe one day.
I mean,
who
kind
knows?
of. I mean, like, do you even really have to? Because you got all these streams.
That's the thing is like
it's
not
like
necessarily if I have to, but if I wanted to, I could.
Right.
Like that's why I'm like I don't say I'm not, but for me it's just the business has changed. I'm just not. At this point, no.
right.
The booty's shaking. Podcast queen. You can call me that. Like that.
I like that one.
Who's one of your favorite twerkers out there that you could just watch that ass
Favorite twerkers.
wobbly drop?
One of
drop
my
it like
favorite
it's
was
hot.
the adult porn star. There we go. That's what you call it, adult porn star.
Adult porn.
Cherokee was one of my favorite.
Cherokee
people.
the ass.
Yes, she was one of my first asses that I was like, this is why people love my ass. This is like, hypnotizing. Like I couldn't
Right.
stop touching it, and I was like, yes, please. Yeah,
Shout out to
she's
Cherokee the ass.
I love her.
She has some dope videos.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
Who's like work do you like that's in the business?
I don't really watch porn. I feel like
So
I
there was
have a-
nobody that you like, you do good work. I like watching. Nobody like that?
No, I don't.
Never been nobody like that?
I've never watched porn. I just did it. Like people were like, "What's your favorite friend?" I was like, "I did them all. I like acted them all
Oh, so
out.
when
I
you,
did them
when
all
you do
for people
them,
to watch."
there's no more watching no more. It's like,
I didn't watch before. I feel like because I know a lot of the people in the industry, it's like you're spying on your friends fucking. So it's like I have a very sexual imagination. I'm very like creative that way. That's why I also create my own content that I feel like I can get off by experience or the men that I want to fuck or whoever it is the case that I don't watch porn. I watch myself.
so never to like critique yourself or
I didn't even.
position
I
right
never
now?
watched my own porn either until I only watched the teases, but I never watched my porn scenes ever. For me, I feel like if the fans are like it, then I'll critique myself to death. Just like you can find anything wrong with yourself about whatever. So I was just like, I'm good.
Right. All right. I mean, that makes sense.
So what's next for the podcast? It's
Uh,
2023 is the new year. What do you guys got planned? And what's on the horizon?
We just started season 4. We're going to do the podcast more kind of remote now, going to different places.
Okay.
And we did Exotica this last year. We did the first 2 episodes there. So that was a lot of fun.
What do you guys shoot out of now?
We're in LA, based in LA.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
just more of that and just more branding and getting more sponsorships and just continuing to make good content and meeting cool people.
Right. It's just dope, right?
Yeah.
I would tell people all the time, with all the shit going on in the world, it's a blessing to do what you love and get paid to do it and be around some cool people along the way. You know
Facts.
what I'm
It
saying?
doesn't make like it's work.
Huh?
It
Yeah,
doesn't make
it
it's
doesn't feel like it's work.
You're hanging out.
right
Yeah.
now. That's how I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're just hanging out with the cameras rolling.
Well, you'll have to come on Private Talk. You'll come to
Definitely.
LA.
That's
We're
the
in
name
LA
of it?
all the time.
Yeah.
It's called Private
Talk with
Okay,
Alexis Texas.
What's Private Talk with Alexis Texas? Okay,
That
so
is it.
what's the topics on your show? Just
If
give
I
me a-
do it now, then you're gonna we do your homework. You're gonna be prepared for it. I gotta be off top.
Say that one more time. I'm high. My bad. Hold on, say that. I'm looking at you talk, but then it's like I'm hearing you, but
You don't hear the words coming out of my mouth. This is what's happening.
so is it like
It's lifestyle and entertainment.
There
and
we
then
go.
at the end, we play a game called Truth with Texas. And it's a little bit more spicier questions. We get to know you a
Got
little
you.
bit more. And, it's a fun time. It's
ah
a fun time.
like spicy like sexual questions?
A little bit, yeah.
Mm.
A little bit. Yeah, you have to. Maybe you should watch one of my podcasts. And
I'm
see.
going to.
Support
I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna watch one.
for sure. It's
check
fun.
it out.
It's I'm creating a game like that as well.
She had Stevie on.
William,
Stevie Williams.
that's
yeah.
my guy.
Yes,
yeah.
he was great. He was
He
fun.
came on our show about 2
Yeah,
weeks ago. We haven't posted it yet, but
Yeah.
Nice.
I was checking you out.
Yeah, he was awesome. Good guest.
Good guy, man. I go way back with Stevie.
For sure, yeah. But it's
Yeah.
not crazy questions. So it's the same thing as more conversational, like kind of like this. It's more, for us to all get to know you. But I feel like I ask the hard questions of things that people probably wouldn't because I know more about them and how to approach it the right way and make you feel comfortable to let people know you on a different level.
Do you smoke on your show?
I do.
Do you drink on your show?
I do.
What do you drink, Alexis Texas?
Depends on what kind of day. But if I'm starting, I have to do 3 podcasts a day. I'll start with some champagne, have a shot with my guests. I like tequila. I'm a tequila girl.
I learned the hard way when we first started our podcast. Like, because we're smoking cannabis, we'd shoot with 3 in one day, and I'd smoke my face off first episode. I'd be asleep by the third one.
Shit, we took
You
some
have to
nerds
pace.
bars that one time and then tried to still
Yo.
shoot.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do that. I don't like to do edibles when I have to be like work and be like talking about things.
Yeah.
Like who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because that's what our fans, give us. Like, they'll be like, "Yo, how do you guys smoke during the whole episodes?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then for those who know, we do a couple like in one day or something like that. Like, I remember one time we did it LA. How many we shot that one day? 5?
4.
It was 4, right?
Shot 4, yeah.
We shot 4 in one day.
It's a lot.
And each episode was an hour and maybe 20 minutes, and we're smoking my face off. I mean, I smoke my face off every show.
Yeah, but you learn
Yeah.
balance when you have to do that. You take a little more breaks, a little more smoke breaks.
That's why we had the breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why
For sure.
Yeah, that nerds bar episode.
what's
By that last episode, you had your bucket hat on and you were just sleeping in the chair.
Alexis, I smoked so much and was so high that when you have a bucket hat on, you can see, but like when somebody's looking at you, they don't know if they can't see your eyes.
Whatever, so there's
I was knocked.
Like you fell asleep in class. That's what it looked
was
like.
something like that.
It looked like
while
you
we
was
were
in class
taping.
Did you like snoring and everything? Just, like,
You know what? Damn near
near?
until he nudged me. It was like, oh, like I didn't move, but my eyes open. I'm like, oh, damn, we still recording.
We're still here.
But we were smoking. What was we smoking? One of your strands. It was
You know what it was? A head stash that came through that time. Remember? We were smoking head stash.
Yeah. Shout out to Winter Circle Genetics, by the way. Wolf, give the people the dispensary where we're at.
Yeah, man. Come see us in LA. You need to come see us too at the dispensary in Van Nuys. We have a dispensary in Van Nuys.
Love to.
Winter Circle Cannabis Co. WinterCircleGenetics.com is the website.
It's dope inside, yeah.
Winter Circle Genetics is the Instagram. But yeah, man, I'd love to have you come through the dispensary. But
What strains we got right now?
shit, we got peanut butter and jelly over there. We got Birkins. Got 1942.
You got to try that Birkins. Nice. The 1942
You said you like
good
hookah?
too.
Do you like hookah?
I'm not a big hookah person. I mean, if it's around.
No, man, get that hookah shit out of here, man.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
No, the hook. I mean, the vapes he does
lovely.
are good though.
Okay.
Like, it's like they have the flavors,
Yeah.
and it's like not that cheap hookah taste. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Tastes like
It's
real, like.
yeah.
People who smoked it like that, we're killing the Elf bars, we're killing the Esco bars,
Yeah.
everything that's on the market, man.
Right. Hell yeah. Alexis, how you feeling?
I'm good.
You
I'm
good? Are you
yes.
high?
I am high.
Let me ask you: is there anything that we haven't talked about or that you haven't promoted that you want to? Because we want to make sure we highlight everything that you want
I think we talked about the podcast, my clothing line, Blonde Panda, my cannabis thing coming up, but I can't really say anything until it's but around April time. Something will be coming out. That's really about it.
Another sex question.
Yeah.
What's the longest you went without it?
8 months.
And the reason for that 8 months is what?
I broke up with the boyfriend and then COVID happened and then there was an.
Oh, well, great
gap.
8 months. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, it is COVID, so everybody back up. That shit was crazy, wasn't it?
It was. You really had to trust people when you wanted to come over. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Damn. So during COVID, no, nothing.
No. I had my Hitachi. It was good.
You had your what?
Hitachi.
Ah, yeah.
You know what the.
Yeah. Yeah, well, shit. I think we killed that.
I had fun.
What's the number say on there?
106.
Damn.
Nice hour.
I mean, I do have more questions, but I don't want you to be like, yo, that infamous guy. All he did was ask me these fucking.
I don't
porn
mind.
questions.
For me, it's like I get
that's
education,
why I'm holding back.
communication.
I'm balancing it out though, bro.
I know,
I'm
because-
balancing
I don't
it
think
out.
it,
'Cause
I feel like
again,
it's
I've never-
warranted. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I think it's relative to what's going on. I'd
So you
rather.
cool with
again,
it? You
yeah,
think
I'm
the
cool.
cool?
I'm not. I don't feel.
Because again, you did pop the cherry. You're our first
Hall of
You like
Famer. There
saying
you go.
that.
Hall of
first
Famer.
Hall of Famer
Yeah.
on our
Adult
Smoke With Me
actress.
podcast. And I told you in the beginning that the higher I get, it's going to be shit like this, right? So
I heard the disclaimer.
Got you. So another porn question, if you don't mind. I want to know, when it comes to the business, like how often? Okay, so like, let me ask you this: when you was doing the doing your scenes and stuff like that, like how often would that be? Like, is it something like you have to you got to film every week, or you got to do something every day, or you got to shoot multiple scenes in one day. Like how does that schedule work in that business? Like,
I think everybody's different. When I first started in the business, which is like 15 years ago, it was where, I mean, you just worked. I worked 7 days a week, maybe. And so for me, it was more like I wanted to work more so I could get my name out there.
right? Because the more content you put out, the better.
The more, yeah. And so I did it that way. And like my agent was we just worked, and I'm a worker. So it didn't bother me, whatever. And then as things, the more you learn, you can pick whatever you want. Some people can do one scene a month. Someone can do 3 scenes in a day, but that's unrealistic if you really think about it. But yeah, I think it really depends. But in the beginning, I definitely, for about 2 to 3 years, I worked about 5 days a week.
And those are, and how often would stuff drop? Like how often would you premiere?
So back then it was very different because it was
DVDs,
so
right.
it took time to do editing for production of like all the things it took. Yeah. So like for me, why things changed was I started my first scene when I said for what was their name? Shane's World.
Yeah.
It was a DVD company, but Bang Bros was an internet company. So my first scene was Shane's World, but the first one that people saw was Bang Bros because it was still in production.
Got you. That's right, because when you started, it was DVDs, and then the transition.
The end of 2006, 2007.
Right. I keep looking at you and thinking you're like 20 something, like for some reason. Like
I'm like fine wine.
You're really an OG.
Time.
You're like Big Mama out here now, as far as in that world, right?
I mean,
she's retired.
Like you're up there. Like you're one of the Hall of Famers.
I mean, they don't give it to just anybody. So,
exactly.
Yes.
So do you come out here to Vegas for the
appearances and stuff?
Yeah.
I honestly haven't. Like the end of last year, I kind of started traveling a little bit more. This year, I'm going to be doing more, like traveling more for work. But I just kind of wasn't sure what I was going to do after the pandemic and how that all looked. But I feel like everything's kind of more open and running like the world ran 3 years ago, kind of thing. So I'm not out here as much as I would like to be at the moment, but we'll see.
One more question. A guy that doesn't know what he's doing.
Why you keep saying one more question?
I don't know. I'm high. But I said that in the beginning, so yeah. In the comments, don't kill me. A guy that you like, haven't had sex yet. Y'all didn't rush into that. A guy you like him, like you're liking him, but you haven't had sex with him yet, and then you have sex with him, and you're like, are you willing to? Are you one of those that's gonna be like, all right, can't fuck with him no more? Or are you like, you know what? Let me help him out. Has that happened to you? And what would you do if that did happen?
It has happened to me. I've repeated offend to see if I could make it work. And if it doesn't, you move on. For me, sex is important. And so I'm not trying to train anybody to do anything. It's a difference between communicating and saying what you like. But to train and it may just be too small. It may too be big. Whatever the case may be for you, you just can't change those things.
So you're not willing to be like, yo, you're eating it wrong.
No, why? There's so many good things out there. Why should I have somebody eat it wrong?
No, I'm saying like, let's say for the first time, he didn't know what he was doing.
Well,
are you willing to be like, let me tell you how I like, or like?
Of course. I mean, that to me, I think is important in sex. If you're not going to communicate with your partner at all, then I think yeah, because I don't think the first time anybody does anything, you don't know that person. So if I don't talk to you, I can't expect for you to read my mind. So I'm very in being advanced and sexually, like knowing my body, I'm comfortable saying what I need.
Takes a secure man to,
Makes sense.
Hey man, you're not doing it right, but let me tell you how it's done.
But I think it's delivery. You know what I mean? It's how you say it, not how you say it. Because it's like, you want to just do it and just, you have no idea and she's going to fake it and you think you're doing the best job ever, but you really suck and have no idea. And the next girl's like, the fuck are you doing? So it's like, for me, I feel like it's so crazy how people who have sex with each other, we don't want to communicate with each other, but you want to fuck that person, but you can't talk and say, hey, I don't like that. Can you move it a little to the left or this? Well, like, what? Just talk to your partner. Tell them what you need. You'll have more orgasms that way.
You ever faked one?
Of course, 1,010%.
And let me ask you a question. Why fake an orgasm? To get it over,
I mean,
because you could just say get up. Or
I was doing porn for 15 years, so not all of those were real. Personally,
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm personal.
I have, because for me, again, in the earlier on, it's like you just either want to get it over with and you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But that's why I feel too. It's like, why should I have to put up with that if I'm letting you fuck me? So it's like, why not? So I've changed the approach. But earlier on, yeah. because you just like you want to be polite in some sense. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Nobody wants to cry.
Just being nice. Just being nice. It's over.
I mean, it's not basic. I think at least I tried. You know,
Right,
like, modest, at least try it once. See if you like it. If not, maybe try it one more time to just clarify. And sometimes I'm like,
Just
was
to
I
make
too
sure.
fucked up? Did I really not like it? Let me
You
try
gotta
it
double
one more
back, huh?
time.
You gotta double
and then I'm
back.
like, oh no, absolutely not. Like, please don't ever call me again.
So a guy
funny.
comes quick. Are you pissed?
Oh, 1010%. Like you're just using me at that point. Like that's not fun for anybody.
You've been
Unless
like,
you can be like right back at it, then we can talk. But who wants anybody to be a quick shooter?
You ever had that asshole where he came quick and you was like, dude, like I ain't came yet. And he's like, well, you took too long. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever had any stupid? That's a high question, but
No. I feel like again, because of who I am, people want to prove something so that they're not usually going to talk to me like that, or
that's
they're
a
not going to be in a
natural-
situation like you know what I mean. Because I feel like it's
Alexis, that's natural. Like that's a listen. If
control yourself, you got to figure
No,
it
I
out.
know,
If you need
no,
to go
I know.
bust a nut in the bathroom, go handle your business before you go to to a game. You know what I mean? You
Go
gotta do
bust
what
this
you
nut
wanna
before I
do.
fuck with
Hey,
her.
you
real
real,
quick.
man.
Hey, but I mean, if you go out
Ain't
to the
she?
club,
Hey, you real,
like,
man. Hey, you real. I like
Ain't
that.
she? That's why I kept coming up with some of these questions.
She
I'm like, yo,
real. Hey,
she's
she's
giving me
real.
the rawest
Nah,
answers.
you're dope, man.
No pun intended with the raw.
You want some of that, Jim?
Of course.
what does
Lexus.
that mean?
Oh, this is McQueen Gin. Shout out to Wiz, Will, McQueen Gin. You know, yeah. I know you got your was that your champagne? What is it? Are you gonna take some with us?
I will take a sip because I think it's rude not to take a shot, but I don't like gin typically, and I drink tequila, but I will do it for you.
Alexis Texas, we appreciate you coming on this show and popping our cherry
Popping
to
cherries.
having a Hall of Famer
Hey,
on the show.
You're
Let's
high.
take this shot.
you're high and you got it right. I like it.
Woo!
It is smooth.
It's smooth, right?
Yep.
It's hot.
I feel like it's one of those things like my dad would say, put hair on your chest for a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Tastes
It's
nice.
so it's spicy. Oh, we wrapping up. I'm not gonna hold it too much longer. I got 20 more questions. Now just like, but nah, real talk, Alexis Texas. We do appreciate you coming on this show and
Thank you
kicking
for
it with
having
us.
me. I appreciate it. I love candid conversation. I
Yeah.
think, it's fun to get to know people.
Did you have a good time?
I did have a fun time. The questions are great. I love smoking weed, just being like if we saw each other at a club or we're hanging out at a
Exactly.
bar or whatever. I feel like that it's been a
Same
great
thing.
Well, we are going to the strip club later on. You coming?
Hey, you're going to another city. I can't go to the other city this strip club. I was like, wait a minute here. I'm like,
I just want to see what you're
I'm
gonna
high,
say.
but I maintain the highness and the level of like, hey, wait, I'm pretty sure you said you're going to get a plane
Yep.
for somewhere, and I have to be in Las Vegas at least until Monday.
Yeah. Nah, you caught that. I was just seeing if you was gonna catch that. Nah, but real talk. This is a Smoke With Me podcast, man. Alexis Texas on the show. Make sure y'all, check her out. Everything she has going on. I'm DJ Infamous, and this is my partner.
Real Wolf of Weed Street back on y'all, man. Another episode of the Smoke With Me show.
You see how smooth he gets when he
I like
does his
it.
thing.
Need to let she need to get to shout out all her social media.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
shout out
run
your
it
social
back,
medias.
right?
Yeah,
We run it
I'm
back.
sorry. Shout out your social medias.
You can follow me on my Instagram at White Girl Politicking. It's a blue check mark. Don't get fooled by all the imposters. Make sure you check out my podcast, Private Talk with Alexis Texas. I have my Blonde Panda by Alexis Texas coming out next week. And Twitter, Alexis_Texas. I think that's about it.
And she will be back, right?
I will be back when I have my product. We're going to sample it. We'll have
That'd
fun
be
on the
dope.
show.
Let's do
I
it.
appreciate you for having me, having a great conversation.
Yes. And shout out to Hardin, and we out of here. Let's get it.